Hey guys, Corey here from Sky's the Limit Car Care, and today we're going to talk about how to start a detailing business. So the first question you should ask yourself is whether or not you should start a detailing business, obviously. There's a whole lot of people out there that are washing a car in their driveway and charging the neighbor 25 bucks. There's people that are building whole studios and entire huge companies with a huge team that works with them, and just really have built up a whole facility of all kinds of car specialization and all types of things. And then there's everything in between. And people do it for all different reasons. Probably the majority of detailing businesses start with the idea that, hey, I like doing this and I can make some money doing it. Or I'm doing this anyway, and I love doing it, and I might as well charge for it. And then obviously there's other people that they don't have to get a degree to start a detailing business. And there's a lot of people out there with dirty cars that could use their car cleaned, and so they're doing it solely for a financial situation. They may not even particularly like detailing. And so there's everything out there. But we wanted to start a series where we talk a little bit about whether or not you should start a detailing business, if you do some of the things that you want to give thought to, and some of the motions that you need to go through in order to do that in the way that we consider to be the most proper way to do that. Obviously, when you start a detailing business, or any business for that matter, there's a ton of things you're not going to know, especially if if you're young, if you've never started a business before, which is generally the case with anybody that's starting a detailing business. It's very rare that I find that somebody has a lot of experience in business when they first start a detailing business. So the first thing, and I can relate to this even in starting Sky's the Limit Car Care, which is not a detailing business, but it is in the detailing sector. I had experience in drafting and design. That was what I did before I started this business. I went to school for that. I went to tech school for that. But I never went to school for any type of business management, anything like that. So I'll tell you the first thing about business, and starting a business anyway, is that no matter what, even if you did go to school for it, you're going to learn a whole lot of things as you go. And it's trial and error. And it's not going to be easy. That's the first thing you need to think about if you're going to start a business. For sure, anybody can get a bucket and get some soap and get a wash mitt and go charge $25 and make $25. That's easy. Anybody can do that. But to actually do it correctly, to go through all the steps, to build it into something where you have other people that want to be on your team, and other people that you can be able to support, and their families that you can help give a better life to. That's a whole different thing. To do it correctly and legally is a whole different thing. To have insurance and make sure that while you're detailing that car, if your mom backs out of the driveway and hits the car, that you have that covered by insurance or whatever. You've got to have insurance. You've got to have an LLC or some type of corporate entity if you really want to do it right. So first thing I'd say is you got to figure out what kind of detailing business you want. And that doesn't always have to stay the same. Whatever idea or dream or thought you have in the beginning is going to be completely different than what you end up with, whether it's because you don't have the stomach for it and you quit, or whether it's because you didn't realize how big you could make it and you didn't bet on yourself in the way that you should. Then either way, it's going to end up probably something much different than what you dreamed. So keep that in mind. But there are some things to think about. When it comes to a website, that's one of the important things that you're going to want to consider. And I'll go through some more detailed explanations as we go through this series, but I'm just going to mention kind of a summary of different things to think about initially, so we can keep this not too long. Number one, obviously, what kind of detailing business? Is it going to be mobile? Are you going to have a shop? Are you going to start by doing this out of your driveway? Most people do. Most people start out of their driveway. They don't have the money to just, or the confidence in themselves to just say, hey, this is going to be successful. People are going to want what I'm selling, and I'm going to be able to sell it for the amount I need to be able to afford a shop. So Some people just start at their driveway, or they do mobile, and there's a place for all of that. I don't have the time personally to go to a shop and get my car detailed the way I would like to. Fortunately, I do enjoy doing it myself, and so that helps out. But your clients that you're considering, the customers that you're going to have, you need to think about what area you're in and who you're going to market to and what they're going to be willing to do. For instance, are you going to have the type of customers and clientele that are going to be willing to drive to your shop? How far are you from those customers? Are you going to be expecting them to drive 30 minutes to get to your shop? Are you going to be expecting them to just, as they're driving by, see your signage if you do have a shop? Or are you just going to start out with neighbors? You want to think through all those things. And obviously, again, you can have like an initial plan and then build as you go, which is how it's going to end up probably going in 99.9% of all cases. Next thing is an LLC. An LLC, that part is not that hard to do. You just go to your local city hall area, and they'll have depending on the town or the city that you're in, they'll have a building there, and it's you generally go to like the same place that you're going to have the clerk of court, somewhere like that, and you just ask them, hey, where do I go to get my LLC, and they'll have a department for that. So you pay whatever it is now. I don't know. It's been 12 years or 11 years since I did mine. So, but it's probably $100, $200, $300 maybe. I think it was about $120 for me. That part's not going to be the most expensive thing you do. So you've got your LLC. Then you've got your products that you need, obviously, to clean the car with, and your tools. When it comes to your products and your tools, there's definitely some thought that needs to be given to that, because you don't want to go out and buy the most expensive things that you can if you don't have the money to do it, unless you have the dream to where you already know where you're going with this and you need those tools. If you're building your business in a way that requires those tools and you're really going to do this on a high level, then obviously you need machines and you need everything that you need to do it. In that case, that's a different story, but most people, the way they're starting out is they're starting out and building more of a car washing business, and they might put paint sealant, paint cleaner, something like that, but they're not even starting with a machine. And there's a bunch of different ways to do it, but if you're going to put a machine to somebody's paint, then you really need to get educated and get some practice in before you go charging people money to do something to their paint that you might cause damage to. So we'll get into that more later, but a few things about the products. Obviously, something like Ultima Waterless Wash Plus Concentrate. This is going to be like the very first product that a new business that is starting small wants for their detailing, because you don't want to spend any money on any quick detailer product. That's a waste of your money when you don't have any and you're just trying to get started out. And this is going to make an amazing quick detailer for way less money. So with that bottle, you can make 5.5 gallons of quick detailer. You can fill this bottle up something like 44 times, or I'm doing the math a little wrong just off the top of my head, but a lot of times. So you save right there probably 20 times. I mean, you're saving hundreds and hundreds of dollars by buying that product and not any other quick detailers. So that's one. Number two, obviously you need a soap, you need a wash. Yeah, you could take Dawn and squirt that in a bucket and use it, but that's not the way to go. It's not great for all of the surfaces of your vehicle, and it's not going to do the best job for you. You could go to Walmart and pick up a bottle of Meguiar's Gold Class, and that'll work fine. That's a good soap, but sometimes quantity is not everything, even when you're looking at just starting out your business. Ultima Paint Guard Wash or Carpro Reset also, both really concentrated products. So this is $13 for Ultima Paint Guard Wash, and you only need half an ounce to an ounce of product for your 5-gallon bucket. You can go get a gallon of soap at Walmart for also probably 13 or 20 bucks or something, and you think you've got a better deal with that, but you don't. In this case, you're better off with this product. Way higher quality product than most of the products you're going to get at Walmart, and also it's actually less costly than a lot of those products because it's so strong that you don't need much product. So you have to take a look at exactly what the ratios are of stuff that you're using and make sure that it's not just, oh, I get a big bottle of it, it must be cheaper. No, look at how much you're going to use. So obviously a wash, a waterless wash in some cases, If you're in California or some areas, you don't even use a wash, you just use a waterless wash. But in any case, these are some of the staples. You need a drying towel or a blower. You need a microfiber mitt. And again, you could go buy a $6 Chanel wash mitt. We have those too. And that seems cheap compared to a $25 Microfiber Madness wash mitt. But again, if you're seriously going to last more than 3 months, then you're better off getting the Microfiber Madness Incredimit than the Chanel wash mitt, because that Chanel wash mitt is going to fall apart in less than a year for sure if you're using it daily. Probably within a month or 2 or 3, it's going to get degraded enough to where you don't want to use it on the car if you're doing a good job. Whereas the Microfiber Madness Incredimit is going to last for years. So again, $26. As long as that lasts 6 months, then you didn't have to buy 6 of those cheap mitts. So there's some things like that where you really do want to look to the quality, and then there's other things like this where still you have fantastic quality, but the economy of it is just obvious. Drying towel, there's a lot of drying towels out there on the market. That's another must-have unless you have a blower, and usually when people are first starting out, they don't necessarily have the money to start with a blower. So I'm going to get off the subject of products for now. I think I've already spent a little bit too much time on that, and we'll get back into a couple other items. So last thing that we're going to touch on today is how to structure your business. Obviously, for most people starting out, including myself, when you first start a business, that's not what you're thinking about. You're not thinking about 5 years down the line or 1 year down the line or anything. You're just thinking, okay, how much should I charge for this? How much can I charge for this? And things like that. But you want to start at this point giving some thought to how to structure your business. In our next part, either part 2 or part 3, we'll get a little bit more in detail on how to structure your business. But that's something that you should be considering even when there is nobody but you. If that's something that you're interested in. Some people are perfectly happy and prefer to work by themselves, and they don't have any plans to ever bring anybody on. And we'll talk about the pros and cons of that as well. All right, guys, that's all we're going to go over today. I think we're already over 10 minutes on this video, and we really want to make this some short segments so you guys can keep up with it and have the time to watch the whole video. So we'll get more into some of these other subjects later. But I hope you enjoyed it. I hope some of that was helpful to some of you. And as we go on, I hope we can provide a little bit more value for you. If you have any questions or comments, make sure to leave those below. If you haven't subscribed, be sure to do that, please. And we'll talk to you later. Have a great day.